Well, hello again, YouTube. My name is Pat. Today, I just want to go ahead and ask a couple open questions for you. And basically, these are questions that I've had for quite a while, and I never seem to be able to get a legitimate answer to. And instead, I just get a bunch of partisanship, like bickering and insulting and stone throwing. So this is a genuine question. I consider myself somewhat of a centrist. I tend to lean to the left, but I also try to listen to what the right has to say. So today, if people on the right could answer these questions for me, that would be great. So let's start with question number one. Yeah, why Iraq? This is something that I never seem to be able to get an answer to, and it really bothers me because the three reasons that I know that are said that we went to Iraq are weapons of mass destruction. Let's see, to overthrow Saddam Hussein, of course, in his reign of terror, and finally to fight terrorism. Now, weapons of mass destruction. That's really funny to me, considering that North Korea is like building nuclear warheads. They have set them off. They're making long distance missiles, and they're trying to make ICBMs. And they have a bona fide wacko who is like multiple times said that he wants to attack America. I mean, this guy is a complete nut job, and it's pretty much undebatable from the left or the right that this guy's a nut job. I mean, for God's sakes, he basically rewrote his birth certificate to say that he was born on a sacred mountain on a holy day, and that there was a double rainbow upon his birth, and a new star had formed. Like this is stuff that Kim Jong Il has actually said. So that doesn't make much sense, though, why we would go to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction when we know North Korea is in fact doing this. And then if it's about terrorism, why aren't we going to the Philippines? The Philippines, like islands, have terrorist activity constantly. There's multiple Al Qaeda sects over there that are always kidnapping people and like sending their families ransoms with footage of them being having their heads chopped off sent back to their family members and all that. But it's not just like the Philippines, and the difference there is the Philippines are actually begging us to come in and help them like push out the Al Qaeda. But it's also in India, it's also in Pakistan, it's over in Laos. It's all over the place. Like the entire drug triangle, or whatever, in Southeast Asia is littered with Al Qaeda, and a lot of the governments there are begging us to come in. But no, we go to Iraq to fight terrorism. That doesn't really make much sense to me. And then the third reason, though, that still doesn't make sense, that was to overthrow their reign of terror there, which is kind of funny considering how we're doing the ostrich game with Darfur going on. You're talking about like, well, we need to like liberate the people of Iraq. Well, how about these people over in Darfur that are like being committed genocide on? They're being obliterated, and it's more than that, though. I mean, there's tons of countries that are having this go on every single day, but it's like, no, we're going to Iraq. That doesn't make sense to me. Um, so that's my first question. If you could please answer me, though, why we're in Iraq, that would be great. My second question that I have for this is about the Iraq War Two. I keep hearing, well, we don't want to pull out until we win, and I hear things like this all the time, and it's like, well, the insurgency is working and this and that. But my thing is, I don't get what the goal is here. Like, winning means that like there's a goal, that there's an end point, that there's a winning condition. There's no winning condition here. It seems like the only condition or the only goal that anybody has is a permanent occupation of the place. Like, is that what they're trying to do? Are they trying to make Iraq into another Japan? I mean, like, yeah, Japan's now our allies and all that, but it didn't help the region by any means, like, whatsoever. And I just I'm just not quite getting it. And another big difference is that Japan wasn't fighting our occupation once we were there. They pretty much had surrendered to us unconditionally, and they stopped fighting us. Over in Iraq, it's a different case altogether. They're still like doing roadside bombing to us, and they're chucking mortars at us, and like the like that. So it's completely irrelevant. I don't even see how the two compare. So yeah, if you could send me the answer to that question too, like what exactly is the winning conditions over in Iraq that is going to allow us to leave? My third and final question is about McCain. That McCain had said that he wants to go to Iran. That is what he said. He said, "I want to go to Iran," like during the debates. And what he says about it all the time, he says, "Oh well, there's a reign of terror there. They're building weapons of mass destruction. They're supporting terrorism." Um, this is a carbon copy, an exact duplicate carbon copy of what Bush was saying about Iraq, and it's gonna blow up in our face, all the same. And I just don't get it. Like, how is it any different than Iraq? That is my question. How is going to Iran any different than going to Iraq? How is this not going to be a second quagmire that's going to be a multi-billion-dollar a day like war? It's going to be, excuse me, not multi-billion. This is $1 trillion war. We're talking about another one. We're in a state of crisis, and we're talking about going and starting up another one of these wars. I mean, this is one thing that a lot of Democrats don't agree with Obama on, and there's a lot of things I don't agree with him on. But one thing that I do agree with him on is that we should start pulling out of Iraq and go over towards Pakistan and go after the real terrorists. You know, go after the people that did attack us on like September 11th, and that like stop letting the world laugh at us that they were able to do this and we're incompetent of doing anything in retaliation. So yeah, that's basically my third and final question to anybody who can answer me. That is how Iran is any different than Iraq. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it if you were able to sit through this entire message. And I'm trying to be respectful, so try to be respectful back, and don't just bark things at me and super patriotism and all that, because I'm really looking for legitimate answers to understanding both sides, because I want to understand the argument. So yeah, everybody have a good day.